Hello. As mentioned in my last video, which was part 2 of my Japan trip, almost as soon as I arrived back in London, I was riding to join the London Brompton Club's ride from London to Paris.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Safe trip. Come on, Abby, go.
I didn't actually film much on this trip since I didn't bring my 360 camera. Thanks to Paul and a couple others who contributed some footage, I spliced together a few more clips, so hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting. The London Brompton Club group set off on the morning of May 7th, but I'd be flying or transiting in Shenzhen during that time, and my flight landed at 9 p.m. on May 7th. By the time I got home in London, it was about 10 p.m. They were already boarding the overnight ferry to Dieppe. The ferry is about 4 hours, so they arrive in France and start cycling around 4:30 on May 8th. At 11 p.m. on May 7th, I was unpacking my bike and making sure everything was okay. Repacked for my 6 days of cycling / exploring Paris. I think I really should have brought more clothes. The ferry I booked was for 9:30 a.m. the next day, and you're supposed to be there an hour and a half early, so I needed to be there around 8 a.m. I gave myself roughly 5 hours just in case there were any mechanicals, so I set off around 3 a.m. The London Brompton Club planned a nice scenic route from London to Newhaven, but I decided to just take the most direct route recommended by Google Maps. I figured it was 3 a.m. so traffic wouldn't be that bad.
Okay, gonna stop here for a gel. 51k. Almost there. Just out of Lewis. Gonna stop by there for some hot food, I think. Ooh. Nice little tunnel. Stopping by Tesco Superstore. Nothing else is open. It's only 6:27, so I have plenty of time. Not sure what's happening here.
I got there pretty early and stocked up on food at Tesco.
Nice morning light, except this road is quite busy. The roll-off, belt drive, the tandem behind me. Nice little port town. Lots of interesting bikes. An Enigma, roll-off belt drive, even a tandem.
Route I took was 96 kilometers with 947 meters of climbing. My moving average was 23.6 kilometers an hour, probably helped by slight tailwind, and luckily no mechanical issues. I'll put on screen the route planned by Mark. It's a 5-day ride and around 422 kilometers. It's not meant to be the fastest, most direct way to Paris, so we took a lot of scenic detours with less traffic. I'll link the routes in the description as well. As I was getting off the ferry, you can see here that Paul already had a bit to drink. They were just leaving the tour they had of a local cidery. Yeah, too bad I missed that. I love myself a good cider.
So that was the second to get off the boat after a motor home, and then first through the passport control. It's pretty windy. Hopefully it's with me, but I don't think it is. Found a church. I heard that they always have water fountains here. I don't know if the washroom water is drinkable.
I didn't film too much while riding on the Avenue Verte, but it was really nice in terms of road quality. Lots of interesting chateaus and architecture.
Stop for a snack. Still have my broken saddle, my broken frame bag, but it's holding together. 48 kilometers. I think another 35 to go. Uh-oh. It's raining. I think it'll pass. Maybe. There's a food store. Interesting.
Pretty uneventful ride to the hotel, which is a good thing, and caught up with them for dessert. They look more tired than me, probably because they woke up at like 4 a.m. and then rode for a whole day, but I took advantage of my jet lag and I was feeling alright. The hotel was fine. I didn't actually take any pictures inside, but throughout the trip I'd be splitting a room with Pablo. You'll see a bit more of him later. In the morning, the square we were staying in actually had a nice little market, and we just had breakfast there, grabbing some pastries and a coffee. So many Bromptons.
You bought oysters?
I regret passing on that, but didn't feel right after coffee and pastries.
Going pretty fast today. Random Park. Out of the shaded tree tunnel now. Scary dog.
Is it Norman? After I realised yesterday. But it's not.
I didn't even know this until looking it up later, but apparently it's got the tallest Gothic choir in the world. It's a meter taller than St. Peter's Basilica. And then we stopped for a little picnic.
Let's do a bike check on the fanciest T-line here. E-wing cranks, some oval chainring, 3D printed parts, bits, decoration, 3D printed saddle. Ooh, Dorimo seat post, fancy. Adapter thing's kind of interesting. Oh, but it's broken. Oops. Very nice carbon handlebar. Is it also Dorimo? Yep. Ridea wheel extender. What brand is this? Can't see the brand on the cog or the chain tensioner, but it's a 7-speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7-speed. Nice oval chainring from what brand? Hard to see. Nice.
The group got a bit split because some people went ahead. I went off to look for them, but fell behind because apparently they were ahead of us.
It's a single climb of the day.
We made pretty good time on this day. At this point, we were 12 riders with varying riding ability, so not too bad at all. For some of us, it was the most they've ridden over a few consecutive days. The Ibis hotel that a few of us booked was about a 20-minute walk from this old city center, so we had a nice walk to grab a few pints and dinner.
Brompton. To Brompton. To Brompton. To ride my bicycle. I want to ride.
The next day we had 3 members of the Paris Brompton Club join us for the ride.
A little bit of a gravel dirt track. Forested ride. Very nice. Smooth at least.
Lucked out on weather again, very sunny and not much wind to speak of. This is me with the neck gaiter I bought in Japan. It's actually great for keeping the sun off of you and keeps you cool. We stopped to buy groceries for a picnic and the frame rack came in handy to carry this giant jug of apple juice. Yeah, I bought a lot of food and I was so full after eating all this.
I won't try to butcher the pronunciation of this town name, but we visited Van Gogh's grave. And this area is where he based a lot of his paintings, so super scenic, and you could probably spend the whole day just exploring this area.
This pollen is crazy. Glad I don't have allergies, oh my god.
After this monument, it was a quick ride down to the hotel.
A quick bike check. The top is Mark's T-line with a spray-painted green fork. And this is Pablo's P-line with the Erder metal frame hugger.
And that was the ride. We had a comically bad dinner due to like poor service, probably from lack of staff for the holidays.
Gravel ride.
This will be the last day for a lot of the London Brompton Club riders. We'll ride straight to Paris and then meet up with the Paris Brompton Club where we'll go for like a tour around the city. And then a lot of them will go take the Eurostar back to London.
It's easier if they had a Brompton.
This section of the ride along the Seine was completely separated from car traffic, so it was very peaceful. Apparently this area used to be pretty sketchy before the Olympics. It looks like it could still be the case at night. Also had a bit of a crash where I lost this cookie. We had a nice food break before meeting up with the Paris Brompton Club to do the group ride in the city.
When we stop, if we need to stop, if we need to avoid an obstacle or move, and also if there is a hole or glass, so that's something we need to. We keep right. We must give way to the oncoming cyclists on the other side, even if we are a big group. And you will find lots and lots of glass in Paris, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we go for a 30-kilometer ride. It will be very touristic, calm and relaxed.
You can cover a lot of Paris by bike. We even picked up a few riders who noticed the big group. Check out this guy's mudguard.
Very good.
You can find them on Facebook. On Facebook.
Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Yo. Jean-Pierre. Ah, rude. And tail end Leslie.
Dalian and Hans are a Dutch couple that traveled to London to join us on the ride. I think they must have had the oldest Bromptons, and Dalian was on a 3-speed. They're so strong.
Impatient for your coffee.
The ride officially ended at this coffee shop operated by one of the Paris Brompton Club riders. I believe there were 24 of us in total, but the ride ended here and then we split off. I went with the LBC crew to the sketchy train station, and then I left to drop my bike off at the hostel, which wasn't that bad for £24 a night. Spent the rest of the evening exploring Paris by foot.
I saw the rain coming a mile away, but I just had to stick around and take in the scenery. The views are amazing. Raining. Yeah, I got pretty wet walking around trying to shelter from the rain, but had pho, which wasn't very good. I spent most of the next day walking around Paris as well. But let's take a moment to appreciate the architecture in the Lafayette department store. It's crazy. Went to a lot of department stores, churches, cathedrals, museums. But yeah, mostly just killing time before the Maillot Jaune ride in the evening. This was one of the reasons why I decided to stay a couple days extra. It's like a critical mass type ride, except it happens every Monday. Went back to the hostel to grab my bike, and then it started raining super hard, but luckily it was only for about half an hour or so.
Well, randomly rained, so I'm gonna get freaking soaked without the mud guard.
The ride ended at a hippodrome where we got to do a fast lap around the track. Also got to catch up with Thibaut, who owns Rose Mechanic, who I met previously in a London Brompton club ride in London. Yeah, he does really cool stuff with like super modded Brompton, so definitely check him out. After the lap around the track, we headed back into the city, where we stopped at a pub. Luckily they had pizza because I was absolutely starving. And this is the route we took. I think most people should be able to keep up because there's so many traffic lights that you'll catch up at each light.
Been riding around all morning trying to figure out a way to send my multi-tool Leatherman back to the UK since it'll get confiscated at Eurostar, I guess. DHL won't take it, La Poste won't take it, but DHL gave me a box.
Sending it via La Poste work, I just padded it with some clothes, and on the box I declared it as camping equipment and clothes and put the value at 0. Luckily I wasn't taxed when it entered the UK. Spent the last few hours in Paris cycling around to a few bike shops, but kind of spoiled in Japan and wasn't that impressed. And that concludes the end of the trip. The last time the London Brompton Club ran this was in 2023, also led by Mark. He probably won't run it again for a few years because obviously it takes a lot of time and effort, and I mean he's done the route multiple times now. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching. I think this will be my last big trip of the year for cycling, so I'm going to be getting back to more technical videos after this. Like and subscribe to stay up to date.